Well, it looks like Lee's invasion of the North is going to come to a head. We've got a battle at Gettysburg! Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me as always is Prospector Johnny. And Johnny, it is an interesting next couple of weeks. So...
Okay. I don't know how to take that.
Good, potentially good. This week ends on some big important news, but it doesn't finish on that news, so we're not entirely sure how it's going to end. But we'll get there, Johnny. We'll get there. So it's going to open up on the 26th with Early and a portion of his command entering Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. They easily are going to push aside the Union home guard that's there, but not finding any real significant supplies. They're just going to move on to York, Pennsylvania the next day. So this is kind of quick.
And maybe that's why it was so easy to get through the home guard, because there's not a whole lot there to guard.
Not a whole lot there as of right now.
As far as supplies go. So they got nothing. But they're being aggressive, coming up to our territory.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
Love that.
Yep. Meanwhile, Johnny, Hooker and his army is still in Maryland for some reason, despite the Confederates being in Pennsylvania.
He probably hasn't received any orders to start moving his troops or anything.
Oh no, right? he's been getting into a fight with Halleck, and Halleck has been telling him, yeah, you probably need to go and address Lee head on. Meanwhile, Hooker's like, I want to secure Harper's Ferry and use their troops for the defense of the North.
Okay,
for reasons.
Any case, reason Johnny, he has a job and we don't, right? He's smarter than we are.
That might be it. Over on the coast of Maine, of all places, Johnny, we've got some rebel pirate news as Confederate pirate ship takes the U.S. Federal Revenue schooner. So this is a boat laden with coinage and cash to pay for troops and supplies.
That's
and all
useless for them because I'm sure that can't be converted into Confederate bucks.
Not very,
right?
yeah. I wouldn't think it would be very easily converted into Confederate bucks. No, but it's
a bunch of useless currency as far as they're concerned.
They're going to take that bunch of useless currency, but they're going to be unable to escape with it as they are quickly surrounded by 5 federal boats. 3 steamers and a couple of gunboats. So that's not going to go great for them. The rebel pirate ships are able to.
About how you expect.
They are going to blow up the Archer and sink it before surrendering their vessel, which is a bit unfortunate. So if you're a pirate gold hunter, it looks like there's some gold off the coast of Maine that you might, if you go find it. Maybe it'll wash up on shore.
You'll be fine.
In any case, that rebel pirate surrendering, he is none other, Johnny, than the pirate Reed. Pirate Reed. He has a 19-day reign of terror, which finally comes to an end where he does capture 21 ships in those 19 days, including the Tacony, which he captured and then took over as his own vessel because it was better than the original one that he had. But you remember that from a couple weeks ago? He took over the Tacony? Yeah. Well,
yeah. 21 and 9, that's pretty good pirating, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
You can't
more
really,
than a ship a day. That's
you can't really.
That's
fault him there, but it's ended. Reed is now ended. It's ended. Yep. It's ended. His reign of terror.
It was a nice 3 weeks for him, so that's fun. Yep. And now he's going to go to jail forever, I imagine.
I would hope so.
If he's lucky.
Yes. On the 27th, Johnny, Hooker is going to resign after getting into an argument with Halleck again over what he should or shouldn't be doing right now. And surprisingly, Johnny, Lincoln says, "Okay, good. Was gonna fire you anyways." This is like the first time Lincoln accepts a resignation.
Yeah, that's it's a rarity for him. But I guess when you just continuously don't do your job on purpose and you're outright just contrary to your orders, acting contrary, then
that was gonna happen.
Eventually, you're not going to get fired. No.
He'll wait for you to resign.
When you quit, they'll let you.
Yep.
And that's fine.
Yep. General Meade is now going to assume command of the Army of the Potomac and have the task of dealing with the invasion of the North, which you might want to get on right away because it's actively happening right now.
They are coming up through there, apparently, already pretty easily. So head that direction.
News of all this is going to bode well to Meade when he receives word of his promotion on the 28th, and he responds to Halleck by saying, and I quote here, "I'm ignorant of the exact condition of the troops and the position of the enemy." He goes, "I have no fucking idea what's going on. Why did you guys choose me?" But I guess
catch him up. Somebody tell him, right?
I guess I'll
ignorance isn't bad. It just means you haven't learned.
I'll get on it, and he might want to get on it quickly because
catch him up.
Yeah, the Confederates are right now currently organizing their army in Chambersburg, which is a little city a little bit away from Gettysburg, down the road from Gettysburg a little bit.
Okay.
Early is going to...
So they just need a Clip Notes version for him. They need to give him a real quick, just rundown, high level.
Clip Notes.
Basically, go here and start.
And start doing things. Yep. General Early of the Confederates, he's going to requisition food, shoes, clothing, and money from the people of York, Pennsylvania. But don't worry if you're thinking he's just stealing the money, or he's stealing the money and stealing the food and all that fun stuff. Don't worry. No. Any property he took,
is he paying?
He is going to pay for it with promissory notes and Confederate bucks. So that's as good.
Just a bunch of IOUs from
nothing.
How valuable is paper right now?
I guess it's valuable enough to write on if you want to write some notes on it.
Can we take the paper and reuse it, or take the Confederate bucks and wash them and turn them into notepads that we could then sell for probably way more than what they're worth?
Probably, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, that's stealing.
He stole. Yeah,
I can't walk into a bank and say, I will pay back this $20,000 that I'm stealing from you.
I'm going to take out a $20,000 loan from the bank and give you $20,000 worth of historic hindsight funds. So...
That's right. Yeah. You can have all the historic hindsight bucks you want.
Now we gotta make historic hindsight bucks. In any case, on the 29th, Johnny, I feel like I have to report on the sieges that are going out there at Port Hudson and Vicksburg, and the report is they're still doing it.
They're still doing the siege. Okay.
Still shooting cannons at the cities, and nobody's surrendering as of yet. Meade is going to rapidly redeploy his army from Maryland to Pennsylvania, with General Buford's cavalry arriving near Gettysburg there on the 29th. On the 30th...
Right, so we're all starting to kind of congregate down in Gettysburg. Everybody's going to Gettysburg.
Yep.
That's going to be a big one.
All hands to Gettysburg. On the 30th, General Rose...
I bet we have to talk about that one for 3 straight episodes.
We will have to talk about that one for 3 straight episodes. And as we touch on the battle here in Civil War in Hindsight, check out those episodes because we already did it. And if you want to know this battle in detail,
so long.
Go 3 episodes worth in detail. But anyways, Johnny, on the 30th, General Rosecrans' campaign out in Tennessee has only had minor skirmishes, but has been able to force the rebels out of Tullahoma and across the Tennessee River as they take more and more of the state back for the Union. So, good. That's
great
progress there. General Butler and General Reynolds, they're going to receive orders from Meade to attempt to occupy Gettysburg if at all possible. General Buford, he's going to write to Rosecrans and say, hey, how early can you get here? Because the Confederates are right on the doorstep. I see them. I can set up an ambush for them. They've got really good high grounds here that if we get those high grounds and defend those high grounds, we might be able to take out Lee's armies. General Reynolds is like, hey, can you give me to mid-morning? Just hold out till mid-morning, and Buford's like,
just delay.
I'll do what I can.
I mean, is he gonna just ask the Confederate to nicely not
just wait for a little bit?
Reinforcements arrive.
Meanwhile, on the 30th, General Lee has given an order to all of his generals to not engage in any significant battles with Union positions until the entire army can be mobilized at Chambersburg. Early hears this, and he goes, you know what I'm going to do? I see that there are Union troops starting to gather at Gettysburg. I'm going to go ahead and attack them. And that's what he does on the 1st of July. He begins moving his army down Chambersburg Road, which is right where Buford has a very well set up ambush for him. And despite only having one brigade of dismounted cav, he does a pretty damn good job, or at least as best as he can, defending against 2 to 3 times his number, depending on what time of the battle we're talking about. So,
yeah, that's well done. So, orders from generals are just suggestions, apparently, during this whole war on both sides.
Apparently, yeah, just suggestions.
A lot of people seem to just be ignoring or maybe not getting, but
No, they're getting it. They're just
largely ignoring,
interpreting it their own way. And Johnny,
direct commands.
You're gonna get more of that here in a minute about interpreting commands here. So during the first day of the battle here on July 1st, Buford does his best with heavy casualties of defending against the Confederate onslaught. They are able to wait out till Reynolds gets his army up, and long story short, they hold out for General Meade, with Hancock being the spear point of that, to get to Gettysburg late on the 1st and secure those hills just to the south of Gettysburg, which is where they wanted. But they do lose the city of Gettysburg on the 1st, so lost the city.
But we've already established they didn't have anything there. So.
Yeah, it's whatever. The reason why the city's even on the map is because, like, every road in Pennsylvania just happens to go through this. It's a turnpike, it's where everybody goes to, thoroughfare.
The lowest point between the mountains that it was easiest to build roads through. I mean,
pretty much. Yeah, that's kind of.
They didn't want to start blasting tunnels or going up and over, so everything kind of funnels through Gettysburg, and
Yep, and Johnny, on the 2nd, we've got the second day of the Battle of Gettysburg. Confederates are going to attempt to attack the Union flanks on the hill, on the right flank of the Union Army. The goal here is to use a distractionary attack by Early. He's supposed to go across the field, attack the Union right, while on the Union left, Longstreet's supposed to be the primary attack. Longstreet's supposed to go out there with his full force, hit that flank, turn the Union flank, and then wins the day of the battle. The problem here is Early was supposed to move when he heard Longstreet's assault begin, but instead of attacking, Early thought an artillery barrage was the diversionary attack that was supposed to happen at extreme long range, which did absolutely nothing.
But no, because the South had rifled cannon barrels
mostly
for the
smoothbore.
large part, so they were super accurate.
No, mostly smoothbore.
Knew exactly the distance.
Nope.
No,
mostly
smoothbore.
Yeah.
So not accurate and not as far.
Not great. No. But
Did
Longstreet,
they hit the Union.
He's gonna slug through out the Union left. He's gonna fight Union forces near the Peach Orchard, Devil's Den, Little Round Chop, big bayonet charge after bayonet charge, and at the end of the day, Confederates are left with a lot of casualties and gained very little to no ground, and the Union still holds all the high ground. So that's where the week is going to have to end. I know it's kind of an odd place to end because it's in the middle of a big battle, but it is what happens. Weeks end
but
when they end.
I mean, nothing's happened in this battle. That's it.
Can't extend it so far. So stay tuned to next week to see what happens. Will the war end? Will the Union get defeated and surrender? Will the Confederates surrender? Who knows how this... Just stay tuned. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight. We talk about all kinds of fun things, like a 3-day onslaught Battle of Gettysburg, 3 mini-part episodes all together, where you can learn whatever it is that you wanted to learn about Gettysburg, where we fix bayonets and we charge down hills and shit.